Hello and welcome to the Home and Learn video tutorial for visualbasic.net. I'm Kenny Carney and this is what we had from our previous lesson. We were constructing our own class student exams and we created field variables and a constructor. There was one thing I forgot to mention about constructors, and that they are optional. So this sub here, you don't actually need it. You could delete that entirely, and if you did delete it entirely, then for these field variables, they would be filled with a blank string, or if it was an integer, it would be a zero value. So constructor is optional, you don't need one. And you can add more than one constructor, and the way you do that is simply to put something between the round brackets. So you want to pass something over, you could have the full name as string as one parameter, you could have the exam grade as a second parameter, or more than one constructor, you can have that. We're not going to do that though, and ours is optional. And what are we discussing? We're discussing properties. Why are we discussing properties? Well, because you need to hand information over to your classes. So we're handing this information over: a name, an exam code, and a score. So you need to hand over information to your class, and you can do that with a property. You can also do it another way. You can make these, instead of private, you could make these public. Except you don't want to do that. I'll show you an example. So if I do dim, and there's my new student, new student. And if I type a dot, I'm not that good. I don't need the dim, do I? What am I doing? I've already set up a new student. Right, I just need new students. There it is. And if I type a dot, you should see that field variable there, because it's that field variable. Well, you get field, and the reason you can see it is because it is public. But we don't want to do that, because that exposes things to the outside world. The idea for encapsulation is that you keep everything inside of the class, so you don't expose things to the outside world. You keep as much as you possibly can private. Now if I put it back to private, now if I do that, you'll see that first name has gone from the list because it is private. So you need to hand over information to your classes, and the way you can do that is with a property. To explain properties a little bit more clearly, let me add a text box to the form. Add text box and drag that down a bit. And so if I want to access that text box, if I want to assign something to the text box, then I access the text property. There it is, property text box. Gets or sets the current text in the text box. And so if I want to set some value, goes on the left of an equal sign, and I can put like set a value. Alright, so for the text property, it goes on the left of an equal sign if you're trying to set a value. If you're trying to get a value from a text box, a text property, you can do a quick variable and string, and an equal sign. On the right hand side of the property is your text box 1, that's the object, and its property is text. So that is getting a property. Get the property on the right hand side, set property from the left hand side. Right, so with that in mind, let me delete that, and we shall create our own property. We shall convert the name, like the name here, I'll convert it to proper case. So the K from here will be uppercase, and the C from here will be uppercase, and the rest will be lowercase. That's the property we'll set. You start the word public, so this one has to be public because it's a property, and you pass it information into your class. And you want property, and you need to come up with some sort of name for your property. So we call let's call it name of student. Name of student. And you need a pair of round brackets. And it's as string, so you need a type. This could be as integer, as boolean, etc. Now, to get and set properties, you start with an in get. And if you press the enter key on your keyboard, you'll get all of this ready made for you. Get and set. We would like to set a property for the full name. So I want to store something inside a full name. I need equal sign and value. So we're setting something here. This is just a variable name. You could call it anything you want. You could rename that if you wanted to. Then it gets handed over here and stored into this one, full name, which is the field variable right at the top, right up there. So that's where it's getting stored when you set a value. I'm setting in full name, and that is setting a property. Now to get a property, you need some sort of code there, and it's just like a function. You need a return value. I will set up a separate function here. It doesn't really need a separate function. I could add all the code here because there's not much of it, but I want to demonstrate a private function. So this is a private function, so this can't be seen outside of the class. Function convert student name. Convert student name, that's what I'll call it. And I'll be handing over something to this function, which was the name to convert. I say convert to, I'll say convert name to proper. To proper case. And on that as it's going to be string. And this function is going to return a string. It's going to return a string value. And it's going to return a string. This function. Move that one up a bit. And it's that one. You set up a variable. Call it dim change. Case is string. And I want that variable again. Change case equals it convert something to proper case. It's str convert. So that one. And you want a pair of round brackets. And you want the thing you're trying to convert. Convert. Name. It's not that one, is it? Is that converting name? What am I converting? Convert name to proper case. That's not that one. Convert student name, is that right? Tell you what I've done. Oh, convert, you probably spotted that. T in there. That's why I need it. Let me convert name to proper case. That's what we're looking for. Then you need there's a VB. What's it called? VB str. That one. VBR str convert. And you type a dot, and you'll see a list of things here. It's the things you can use as proper case there. That's proper case. I think I'm on the right tracks now. And return. That's the value I want to return from the function. Change case. Right, so that's the function. We're passing it over. Convert to proper case, which is a string. Returning a string. Like that. Converting it here. We're back to the property get. And we start to use this one now. I'll set up another variable. I'll say converted name. I've got the T in this time. Yes. String. Then that one. Now my function was convert student name, wasn't it? Convert student name, that one. And we want to pass over that full name, don't we? Full name. And a return value, just like a function, return converted name. So when we're trying to get a property, it's returning this one. The function, it takes that full name. Remember, we start a value here, and when it gets to convert the student name, it will execute this function, convert it to proper case, return it here, and then return it there. Right, so how do you use your properties? Well, in the same way as you saw in that text box. So from the left hand side, there's my object, new student. Instead of a text box, it's now new student. And when I type a dot, instead of typing text, I've got name of student, which is a property we've just set up. And again, just like the text box, equal sign, and we want to assign something to this. Kenny, Carney, all in lowercase. Right, so that sets the property, not gets the property, that sets the property text. And I want to get something back out. Again, just like the text box, let me I'll just put S name. Well, S name, string, need that variable again, S name. Again, just like the text box, as you saw, new student, then a dot, and we've got the name of student there. I'm assigning a value to sname. It's on the right hand side. And let me test that one out, see if it works. Oh, I haven't got a message box yet. Let me have a message box just to display some sort of result. Message box, but sure. Sname. See how that works. Debug. Start. Put that one in. Click my button. And there it is. It has been converted. K is uppercase, and the C is uppercase, and all the rest are lowercase. Proper case. That is that one. Right. So just to sum up, just in case you're not sure what's going on, we've got the property there, one we've created, name of student, and it's passing in this value, which is my name, Kenny Carney. If you jump back to your student class, it's doing this. This is the set. So that value is ending up here. So it's ending up here first. And I'm assigning it to full name, which was the field variable right at the top. So it's been stored in full name. Then when I come to get at that property, get, and I've got that full name again. I'm passing it over to a function called convert student name. It's converting it to proper case and returning here, change case. I'm storing it in converted name. I'm returning, getting the property here, which ends up here, and then gets stored back into sname. For properties, one final thing I want to show you. There is read only and write only properties, which you can have if you want. And if you want to do a read only property, and it's just this bit, get, so you want to get, and you can miss this bit out altogether. Opposite of that is a write only property, which you can set, and you can miss this one out altogether if you wanted to. So that's properties, and it can be read only and it can be write only. And I think we will leave it there for properties, and we will move on. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to be doing next lesson, but we will continue with the class anyway, student exam class. I will see you then.